If you were ever planning on starting YouTube in this current environment in order to gain subscribers and become a YouTuber, I'm so sorry, because that's just not going to happen. YouTube has been around for over 10 years and is one of the most advanced forms of entertainment there is out there, as in, it turned from a place where one can upload random videos of their day out to a small audience, into a place where one can upload random videos of their day out to a large audience, and also make some money out of it. 10 years ago, there was no such thing as monetization on YouTube, and God forbid you ever make a video with a sponsor on it. YouTube has changed so much in the past decade that anyone who had left the site and had taken a long break in as recent as 2014 will probably not even recognize the state that YouTube is in now. It's as if they got a cake, put some icing on it, sprinkled some extra decorations on it, then put the cherry on top, then shat on the cake and stuffed it in everyone's faces. YouTube has become a business and everyone knows that. The issue lies with how they're running as a company. In the very beginning, the YouTube stars and the people who gained more exposure tended to be the ones that exhibited the most unique personal traits and brought something new or relatively new to the table. Nowadays, it's the same recycled traits that are normally seen in television stars, and it's gotten to the point that actual movie and television stars are using YouTube more to post their videos, and this has had a detrimental effect on YouTube standing as a company. Funnily enough, they slashed the broadcast yourself slogan they'd be using for 7 years. That's quite fitting considering that nowadays YouTube don't want you to broadcast yourself anymore. They want you to broadcast what advertisers expect of yourself. I've already made 3 videos on YouTube, each of them detailing what aspect of the website's been obliterated by sewage, and this kind of proves that it's actually impossible to continue making any sort of video at this point without complaining about the state of the website. And sitting there and doing nothing doesn't seem to be working, as with every ambiguous update that YouTube pushes out, the website gets worse and worse. I think it's a result of YouTube becoming less of a personal and fun website and becoming more of a business now than ever. The steady commercialization of YouTube has been going on since 2012 in what I call the Disney effect. The influence of the modern Disney star has proven to be beneficial for YouTube in more ways than one, with people such as Jake Paul, however unlikable he may be for the masses, bringing in tons of revenue, and Disney snaking their way into YouTube through these YouTubers. Have you ever noticed that on Social Blade the most consistently viewed and subscribed channels turn out to be related to Disney one way or another? Toy channels constantly review Disney products, probably owing to the fact that those are the only decent products on the market that aren't Minions, and some of the biggest YouTubers have, or had, been claimed by Disney subsidiary Maker Studios. In brief, the biggest problem with YouTube at the moment is the commercialization of the entire platform. Now it's time to diagnose the symptoms of the Disney effect in a little bit more detail. YouTube is the second most visited website in the entire world behind Google itself, and it's home to millions of videos being uploaded to the website every minute. From that statement alone, it's kind of understandable that YouTube is an extremely marketable platform, and its rapid growth through the years, coupled with the notion that you can actually make money just speaking into a microphone or playing games, has given rise to the YouTube star, and allowed YouTubers to almost be placed on the same pedestal as television stars and musicians. Some YouTubers even go on to make their own or star in their own films, each with varying degrees of quality. As a direct result of this, YouTube has inevitably begun to become more commercialized as the years go by, to the point that actual Disney and movie stars actively use the site to upload the hyper-stylized and edited days out. One of the first large YouTubers on the site, Ray William Johnson, was also pretty much the first creator to start a format on YouTube, with the series equals 3 showing that YouTube can be used to create your own programming that isn't just a video you took with your old Sony Walkman of a cat doing a backflip on your couch. Although equals 3 was basically him talking to a camera showing clips of cats or people doing weird things while shot on the Sony Walkman. But this proved to be very successful for him and the site in general, as it provided a source of entertainment for people to watch for free. The very reason why YouTube was created was essentially an accident, and we have none other than Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson to thank for the existence of the site. In brief, a wardrobe malfunction occurred during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, and you can see some Jackson titty. But wait! You couldn't, because TV recording was a new concept and there was no website to actually see the entire thing uncensored. So in comes Jawed Karim, Steve Chen and Chad Hurley. Karim had said that YouTube's main inspiration came from the fact that he could not easily find clips of the event happening anywhere on the internet. So from this unfortunate event, YouTube was born. Now, the website has undergone many changes throughout the years and has turned from a quirky little website where one can upload the simplest of simple videos and go viral, and now it's a site where people can start, promote and grow their businesses. Inevitably, this has had a detrimental effect on the site in that less people see YouTube as a place where someone could upload their videos as just a hobby, and more people seeing YouTube as a simple money-making machine. In 2012, it made a lot more sense for people on YouTube, especially ones that had a significant number of subscribers, to turn to YouTube as more of a monetary business. And this is due to the fact that the way you used to get money on YouTube was almost entirely different than the way one gets money now. In around 2012 to 2013, YouTube was starting to become more of a commercial platform in the public eye. Gaming creators started to gain a lot more traction, with people like PewDiePie gaining hundreds of thousands of subscribers a week. Gaming channels and animators were essentially living in the YouTube golden age. Think of this as the 1920s, in that many YouTubers had just started on the platform and quickly gained traction due to witty creative content. This is especially noticeable in the animation and visual effects field. Animators were very big on YouTube. They tended to cross-post a lot of their works to YouTube and Newgrounds at the same time, and enjoyed a lot of views, with creators such as Psychic Pebbles, OniNG, Speedo Sausage, Gonzo, Egoraptor, SpazKid, and Edsworld enjoying heaps of views and traffic on their channels due to their regular posting on their channels. And this was because the way in which you made money back in 2012 was on a solely views per month basis. So let's say you upload around 200 videos that got around 4 million views in the past month. That would account to approximately £20,000 in your bank account deposited the very next day. You probably won't get that exact amount, but you get what I mean. Depending on the network you're in, you'll get a specific amount of money for every 2,000 view you received. Some networks just flat out refuse to give you any money until you ask them. Then they'll tell you it's all a part of their contract and therefore you can't possibly complain, it's your fault, go away! The point is, it was a lot more set in stone the way you got money on the website, and not many people were making money on the website. It was mainly the larger content creators. Bearing in mind, large at the time was probably about 400k, 150,000 subscribers, or maybe you had one viral video to show for yourself. That made any sort of money on the website, which is quite telling of the state of YouTube at the time. They trusted you enough to wreak havoc on the website. Post your animations, post your poorly edited vlogs, post your unedited 240p Google Hangouts, post your video replies. They're all welcome on the website. Even from a design standpoint, YouTube in 2012 was perfect for showcasing artists and creativity in channel design. YouTube had a feature that everyone sought to have called the channel banner, not the one I'm talking about now. And this was essentially the thing that everyone was trying to work towards, because if you didn't have this channel banner on your own channel, you were effectively relegated into making your banner 90 degrees to the left or to the right, which was a seemingly impossible task owing to the amount of people who made their designs on Paint or GIMP. Having a channel banner differentiated the prestige YouTube partners and the peasant video makers, with the YouTubers that were partnered having an option to make a channel banner of that caliber. Also, YouTube allowed you, like MySpace did or still does, to add custom CSS onto your fancy banner at the top of your page. People could click on various places on the banner and be taken to wonderful websites like Binweevils, Habbo Hotel, Facebook, Blockbuster Film, and the funniest prank of them all, the Scary Jeff the Killer jump scare. Arguably, this was the height of creativity that YouTube allowed for creators the ability to have a channel banner. As well as this, the titles of all the videos and the channel names were on the top of the video player as opposed to the bottom, and for the prestige partners, they had the ability to have a special Photoshopped logo in place of their lowly channel name. When I say Photoshopped, what really happened is that they googled cool text generator and used the Batman Forever flame text effects. Don't deny you didn't do that. Everyone on the planet has done it once in their lives, no matter how much of a painful memory it may have been. Now getting back on topic, animators and visual effects YouTubers were arguably in their comfort zone at the early periods of YouTube, with people like Freddie Wong and Thomas Ridgewell and organizations such as Machinima using YouTube to post their creations once a week, or in the case of Machinima and Watch Mojo, once every scientific femtosecond, which in turn gave them bucket loads of money to start making videos in high definition in 2013. Remember when everyone was harping about the end of the world in 2012? The film 2012 reignited everyone's superstitions about what would happen on the 21st of December that year, with people claiming that a massive meteor is heading directly towards Earth and will collide with it, killing the entire population and indeed ending the world. No one, however, saw the cultural phenomenon from South Korea, Gangnam Style, being what would cause the end of the world, with the video becoming the first one to ever hit 1 billion views on the website on the 21st of December. This reaffirms my theory that we really did die in 2012 the moment that video hit 1 billion views and we are actually living in a fantasy. It was the year that YouTube actually put money into what is now known as the YouTube Rewind. In previous years, the YouTube Rewinds were essentially like news segments where someone stands in front of a screen and just highlights everything that happened that year. Now it's hyper edited montages of what happens in the year, and I honestly don't know which one is worse. 2012 also saw a rise in Let's Plays, with Minecraft being a super popular topic to make YouTube animations and machinimas from. I do not care for what they're called now, they're called machinimas, not roleplay! And Minecraft parodies becoming a popular outlet for musical creativity, with YouTubers such as Captain Sparkles creating what can only be described as the greatest piece of music of our time. Then you had creators such as PewDiePie and Markiplier starting to gain in popularity because they tapped into a niche market not many people realized could be profitable from. horror.
Can't scare me with this.
Who knew at the time that sticking a 1930s Logitech webcam in front of your face in the dark and screaming obscenities at your screen every time a screamer appears would be profitable? I bet now the people who made the Scary Maze compilations are kicking themselves in the backside because they didn't think of that idea first. I know I would. Throughout this year, horror game developers and YouTubers seemingly worked together in order to grow both of their industries, with Felix becoming super popular from his gameplay of Slender and his funny subtitles gaining millions upon millions of views and giving way to a new breed of content on YouTube. The horror game players. Honestly, I should have thought of a better name. When PewDiePie played his games, people lived to see his reactions to such content. No one in their right mind would be insane enough to actually give the developers of Bender the date pages actual money. So they did the next best thing and watch someone else do it. Most people are way too scared to dabble in spooky matters, so they exhibit horror film logic and make someone else do it, which is completely understandable. Little did they know that doing this would lead to a rise in people watching someone else do something, and that in turn would lead to someone watching someone else watch someone else who's watching someone else do something that someone else is watching while being watched by someone who's being watched by millions of people. When the algorithm ditched quality for quantity, that's when people started getting concerned. No more were you allowed to get away with posting a 1-second video of someone getting whacked in the face with a frying pan and still make money. You had to actually make content in order to make money. The reason why they did this has been debated, but it cannot be argued that it was the fault of the reply girls that caused YouTube to undergo such a drastic change. Reply girls peaked at around 2012 when video replies were still a thing on YouTube. The whole concept of a video reply was flawed from the beginning due to the fact that you could post something that you claimed was a video reply, but in reality was a link to download Counter-Strike for free on a website that's completely in Arabic. But wait, there's an AdFly link that leads to another website that you have to pay for fast downloads, or else it's going to take 12 centuries to download your stolen copy of Team Fortress 2. Oh my god, I keep getting sidetracked. Video replies were incredibly flawed, but some channels used them well, such as Philip DeFranco. This didn't stop hordes of reply girls invading the website and infecting it like a plague. These people were the original cam girls across the reaction channels. They never watched the video. 99.9% of the time, they didn't watch the video at all. They just placed themselves in front of their microwave and filmed themselves to the video. You'd think that that would be fine, as in this is what most commentary channels do nowadays, but most of the time they never acknowledge the video. They basically say some broad statements and let their tits do the talking, and sure enough it worked, because hordes of horny kids would see the video and they'd immediately use their parents' credit cards to pay for a little more reception on the dial-up connection so they can watch the video in stunning 360p. I must add that these videos are not even long as well. They're sub 2 minutes, but they still made tons of bank because back then getting money was on a view basis, not on a basis of minutes watched, which I've outlined before. To combat this, Google sat down with their minions and outlined a plan of action to get rid of the reply girls once and for all by deciding to base monetization solely on minutes watched as opposed to views accumulated. And guess what? It worked. Reply girls were mostly eradicated in what can be described as the second biggest mass e-genocide in internet history, only bested by Disney and Club Penguin. Now, what did this mean for YouTube? From then on out, everything changed from the website. The reply girls were gone, but at what cost? Most of the animators and visual effects YouTubers were faced with the simple yet scathing choice: adapt or die. Most chose die, but only in the metaphorical sense, as they came back new and improved as gaming channels. 2014 and YouTube has a new leader, Susan Wojcicki. Susan stepped up to the helm after working in various sectors of YouTube and took the challenge of making the website a better place for everyone. Most people were content with their lives on YouTube right then and there. There was no such thing as YouTube drama. The biggest drama in 2014 was probably, I don't even know, Oculus being acquired for Facebook for $2 billion. But that's for another video! YouTube was a sacred place in 2014 with various technological advances occurring, culminating in the introduction of 60 FPS videos on the site. Now all of those tutorials saying you didn't need to record any more than 30 FPS for your gameplay videos on OBS became obsolete. It's 2015 and this spelled a lot of change for the website, with YouTube undergoing various changes that pretty much confirmed the commercialization of the site. Due to the rise of streaming sites such as Netflix and Amazon Prime, YouTube felt that they needed to get their hands dirty. Not that they've already tried to deal with actual corporate matters before and failed miserably. Cue YouTube Red. Probably the worst thing that YouTube's ever added to their site. With the introduction of YouTube Red, now you can watch your favorite YouTubers make YouTube videos. Wait, no, someone else is making the YouTube video for them and YouTube's paying for them, all at a simple cost of, well, at least it's available here. Well, at least you can use a VPN to access, fuck? YouTube Red boasted compelling programming that would make Frank Darabont jealous, with IMDb chartbusters such as Scare PewDiePie and MatPat's Game Lab. One thing that I do have to commend YouTube on though is their commitment to throwing money at all the right things. They know just what's going to explode and what's going to die out at the right time. Montage parodies also became big this year, and I don't think I need to do more than show you this, which basically describes the entirety of the montage parody community. Which brings me to the year 2016. And 2017, where YouTube witnessed the birth of the current commentary community, and meme culture took a turn for the worst, with irony being the main driving point behind most of the comedy that ravaged the community during this time. 2016 also saw the rapid explosion from YouTubers from all sides of the commentary spectrum. Now, instead of making money playing a video game and showing what you're playing on screen while reacting to the gameplay, now you're making money talking shit about someone else with gameplay in the background to pacify your needs. You got Pyrocynical and Leafy is here among others, and everyone having a collective target. Daniel Keem, aka Keemstar. Not gonna dwell too much on this, but pretty much everyone on the entire website had a vendetta against the man for extremely good reason, as he wasn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. But there was a time where absolutely everyone was making a video about him, even people who he probably never talked to. The very existence of Drama Alert triggered these commentators into making a 3-minute rant about how Keemstar touched them in the middle of the night. Moving swiftly on, 2016 also saw the return of reaction channels. Gone but not forgotten. By killing the reply girls, YouTube inadvertently gave birth to another tumor, the reaction channels, who got off on stealing other people's content and not adding anything to it. To be fair, devil's advocate, none of them were stupid enough to try and copyright a fucking verb, however. In addition to this, we also saw the resurgence of the animation community on YouTube. Animators realized that instead of drawing high quality 2-minute animations showcasing the best of their voice acting and comedic talents, YouTube would much prefer them to draw PNGs of their mundane days out spliced together with character stills and lip syncing. Hey! Oh my god! We had YouTubers exploit low quality content such as Grade A Under A, who's still missing to this day. I'm still waiting for that season 2 update, Grade. Where is it? Where is it? What is it? 2017, and this is officially when everything goes to absolute bollocks. The commercialization of YouTube has taken full force, with PewDiePie making a tongue-in-cheek joke which was absolutely torn to shreds by the media. The old media always had a vendetta against YouTube, as YouTube was essentially breeding celebrities out of what they perceived as doing nothing. Whereas the poor journalists had to go through 3 years of university to get a degree that's landed them in journalism purgatory, with their only claim to fame being a BuzzFeed community article that lasted more than 4 minutes without being taken down. Journalists and the news hate YouTube. They don't hate YouTube, as they've supplied these media outlets with a way in which they can spread their message amongst the masses at a faster and easier rate. That being said, the media absolutely ripped on PewDiePie. He was branded a Nazi sympathizer, an anti-Semite, a heretic, and everything in between. And YouTube took this opportunity to throw him under the bus, immediately cancelling his YouTube Red series and Disney severing all ties with him. This in turn marked a massive change for YouTube with the introduction of the dreaded yellow circle. Various advertisers pulled out of the site quicker than me when I realized she thought my name was Stop. And this led YouTube into a dilemma. YouTube needed to somehow make money from advertisements, but they couldn't exactly do that when all the companies are running away from the website faster than that kid over there when he realized that white van turned the same left that he did just now. This threatened to destroy the livelihoods of many creators on the website, and many were faced with the terrifying prospect of getting another job. And you know what YouTube did in response? Absolutely nothing. Well, first they denied it and claimed nothing was happening, but the vague explanations did not fly. So Susan stepped in and created a YouTube channel with the intention of dispelling the rumors that the site is dying by providing a clear insight into the workings of the website. Oh wait, she fucking didn't. The year is now 2018 and YouTube has never been in a worse position. YouTube's lack of communication is what has damaged the website and its reputation. There's literally no point in continuing making videos if YouTube are just going to make themselves public enemy number 1 and ensure that we as content creators are unable to make a name or even allow people to watch our content. We've already started the year with a big controversy, and it's just demonstrating to us that YouTube really don't care about the creators anymore, and it's more like a film company pushing the Jimmy Kimmels and the Jimmy Fallons and the Jimmy DeGeneres and the Jimmy Cordons on the trending tab every day. Honestly, it shouldn't even be called trending at this moment. It should just be called staff picks. It will probably resonate better with the way YouTube seem to handpick their creators to appear on the trending tab. Why do talk shows constantly appear on the trending tab even when they have 40,000 views in like 2 days, when a video that hits 5 million on one day doesn't even hit the recommended? Similarly, their Creator on the Rise program was introduced to give smaller creators the chance to reach a wider audience and kickstart their venture into YouTube as a content creator. Oh, wait. Various YouTubers have spoken out against YouTube, and even YouTubers that YouTube even promoted, even if it was just for a nanosecond. This proves that YouTube does indeed have a problem, and whether it will be sorted out, we will just have to wait and see. Thank you all for watching this video. Special thanks to Shuriken Master, who contributed the animation and some of the drawings for the video. I actually made a video without mentioning Logan Paul. Oh my god.